What if discipline isn't your problem? You've tried the early mornings, the productivity hacks, the planners with color-coded tabs. You keep pushing to be more consistent, but nothing seems to stick. So you blame yourself. If I were more disciplined, I'd have it together by now. But here's the truth I had to learn the hard way. You don't need more discipline. You need a rhythm that actually fits your life. A few years ago during finals week in my second year of teaching, I hit my limit. I was grading stacks of homework papers, balancing back-to-back meetings, trying to finish my own graduate coursework, and still forcing myself to wake up at 5 a.m. for quiet time, workouts, meal prep, because I thought that's what disciplined women did. But I wasn't grounded. I was performing on empty. One morning I broke down in my car before class, crying, exhausted. And in that stillness, God gently showed me, discipline isn't about doing everything right. It's about aligning your efforts with grace. That truth cracked something open in me. Since then, I've traded hustle for rhythm. Not lazy rhythm, but rhythms that honor my season and rely on God's strength, not just mine. I've seen that same shift happen in my students. One woman I mentored had enrolled in online courses 3 times, but never made it past midterms. She thought she lacked motivation, but she was simply following rhythms that weren't hers. Together, we created a plan based on her actual life. Caregiving, kids, energy dips. She focused on one priority per day and gave herself margin to breathe. By finals, she wasn't just passing, she was thriving. And she said something I'll never forget. This is the first time I didn't feel like I was failing before I even started. In this video, I want to offer you that same shift. A new way to think about productivity, a mindset that doesn't shame your inconsistency, and a rhythm that supports your peace, not just your to-do list. Because here's the truth, trying to force discipline in a season where your soul is already stretched thin, that doesn't bring breakthrough. It brings burnout. Most of us were taught that more discipline is the fix, but discipline without grace becomes performance, and performance without rest leads to collapse. The issue isn't that you're lazy. The issue is that your current rhythm may not be yours. Ask yourself, is this discipline flowing from grace or from pressure? That one pause can reroute everything. Culture teaches us that if we can just control more, schedule tighter, plan harder, we'll finally be consistent. But here's what I've learned. Consistency doesn't come from control. It comes from alignment. God isn't asking you to copy someone else's calling or their calendar. Ask yourself, what does consistency look like in my life with my responsibilities and my capacity? Because trying to force a rhythm that doesn't fit, that's a recipe for burnout. This is where the shift happens. Here's a rhythm framework I use when guiding others through realignment. Faith. Ground yourself in purpose, not pressure. Focus. Clarify what matters this week, not everything. Follow through. Build routines that feel sustainable, not performative. Instead of forcing discipline, start syncing with a rhythm that restores you. Try this journaling prompt. Where is God inviting me to pause, pivot, or prune? Because real productivity, the kind that lasts, doesn't start with your planner. It starts with presence. Old thought. If I were more disciplined, I wouldn't be behind. New truth. When I align my rhythm with grace, I move forward with peace. Rhythm isn't lazy. It's sacred. It's how we walk with God, not ahead of Him. If this message helped you breathe a little deeper, will you share it with a friend who's trying to hold it all together? And if you're craving gentle structure and grace-led support, I'll be sharing more soon inside my new school space, created for women just like you who want to rebuild rhythms that actually fit. Friend, God never asked you to hustle your way to healing. He's inviting you to walk in rhythm with Him.